Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. And if you are on the podcast platforms, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe as well as hitting that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. Let's just go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this podversation. And honestly, this one is one that I've been just waiting a little bit to talk about, but I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible, because this is a story for the ages when it comes to the subject at hand. Recently, Marques Houston, he is a singer. He was formerly in the group Immature many years ago. They had renamed themselves IMX, I guess, when they got a little bit older. I don't know what the IMX was supposed to really mean. I don't know if that was like a mixture of being immature, but now going into an adult. Now you can do the adult things. I don't know. And then he was also an actor. He is an actor. And he was most notably known for his acting in the role as Roger on the show Sister Sister many years ago with Tia and Tamara Mowry. And they would always tell him, "Go home, Roger." But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this subject because he is married to someone that is a lot younger than he is. Well, he actually married someone when he was 38 years old. And when they got engaged, she was 19. So you do the math. And some people think that it was okay. A lot of people didn't have a problem with it because, especially in the African American community, a lot of people do know a lot of people who get with people that are, if they're female, they get with men that are a lot older than them, and they feel that this is someone that's more responsible, they're more financially stable, this is someone that I can really feel secure with. So I get it. A lot of people get with people for security feelings and reasons, but that large of an age gap is just really weird to me. I don't care how long it has been happening. I don't care how many people have been doing it. And we know that a lot of people have engaged in that. We know that. But it's, in my opinion, I feel that it's wrong. And I wanted to talk about this age of consent thing because here's the thing. This is just my personal opinion and beliefs. But when it comes to the age of consent, we know that these laws were put in place many, many years ago, and the people who put these things in law were men. In my personal opinion, just being beautifully honest, I feel that a lot of the men put these guidelines in place, not even guidelines, but just when, depending on the state, because we know in the United States, every state has a different age of consent. Some places it's 15 years old, some 16, some 17. You know, there are different ages in different states. I don't know all of the different ages in all of the different states, but we know that children, I don't care, it's not, once they hit a certain age, they're fully developed. Their bodies may be fully developed, but their minds are definitely a few steps, if not more, behind the body in terms of development. But when you have these men who put these laws in place, I believe they put these things in place for the sake of protection because they wanted to be with women that are a lot younger. Given an example, just present day, the Representative Matt Gaetz, who had allegations against him, and there was actually a criminal investigation going on, and they chose not to pursue federal charges for him for sex trafficking. And I don't know what the reasons were for that, but the woman that he is married to now is a lot younger than him. So it's not just the African American community, but I'm using that as an example to show that these laws were put in place by these men in these high official positions because they wanted to cover and protect themselves. They wanted the ability to be with younger women. And then you see these they're more like cults than religions, but you see a lot of these cults like the FLDS, where their leader is actually in prison right now for life, and he's controlling them from prison, and are actually doing what he's telling them to do. But these men, they get married to these girls when they're really, really young, and then they have a lot of them as wives. But I digress. I'm not going down that path to talk about that religion / cult, but just showing how a lot of these rules were put in place by men to say, well, yeah, this is the age of consent. Once this female hits that age, then you're good to go. You're not breaking the law. But these men, like a Marques Houston, who got engaged to his now wife when she was 19 years old and he was 38. I don't care how young some people think he appears and how youthful they think he looks. His looks are not his age. It's a blessing to hit a certain age and not look like your age. I get that, but it doesn't negate the fact that you are a whole lot older and a lot more experienced than that woman. And there are some stories up there about how they got together. I'm not even going down that path, but I just wanted to talk about this age of consent thing and why is it that these men get with these so much younger women than they are, and they try to explain it. Well, I'm going to play this little clip of Marques Houston speaking on Instagram, and he's addressing a few of things, so I just want to play this clip for you guys.
So, been getting a couple of questions. I wanted to address something real quick that I got in my DM. So, as y'all know, me and my wife Maya have not been together for 10 years. When I saw that, I was like, y'all must be out y'all mind, okay? Everybody know, me and Maya met 2018, and we got married in 2020, and that's it. You know, ain't no 10 years we've been together. We ain't celebrating 3 years of marriage. Now, we coming up on 3 years of marriage, but we haven't celebrated 3 years of marriage yet. So, on our 3-year anniversary, I'll let y'all know. We're going to do something real nice and do it real big, and I'm going to let all y'all in on it, and y'all going to see what's going down, see how we get down.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I'm not going to play much more of that. But you heard what he said. He said, as you know, we met in 2018 and we got married in 2020. Well, the news was that he got engaged to her when she was 19 years old. And they got married not long after that. So that means that they definitely were doing some things before she should have been doing some things with him. And I don't know what the age of consent is in the state that he or they were located in. But whether that age of consent was in 16 or 17, he was a whole lot older than she was. I'm just saying. It just 19 years difference. You couldn't find anyone that was closer to your age. Someone that could have been in high school around the same time that you were in high school, and college around the same time you were in college. Like, what can you really speak about with that much of an age gap? So when it comes to him laughing it off and saying you guys are really reaching, as you know, no, we don't know everything, but whether you got with her before or after her age of consent, what you can't take away is the fact that you got with her and you were 19 years older than she was. So like, let's just be clear. Let's just be clear about that. But you know, people are going to endorse what they're going to endorse. They're going to like what they like. People are going to be for it because they like him. They think he's cool. They think he's cute, handsome, whatever. Or they think that, you know, they have beautiful content. They're sharing pictures of the family. His wife is beautiful, all that stuff. Sure, that all could be true. But the questions still are there. Why someone 19 years younger than you? That's a question that we would love to hear that answer to, you know? So him coming on his Instagram and speaking about that, it's like, well, it doesn't really matter. The age difference is something that you cannot take away. And if you guys didn't know or don't remember, if you did know, the story about the bishop, okay, gotta go to the good old church. The bishop from Iowa, Bishop Dwight Reed, and I talked about this in a conversation on my YouTube channel last year. 63 years old, marrying someone who was 18. And he defended it. Like, he got up into the pulpit of his church and he defended his movements and his actions. And in my opinion, I feel like the family just kind of sold her off, because from what I know, the family, at least some of the family members, were a part of the church. He met her in the school that was connected to the church. He was the dean of the school and, of course, the bishop of the church. And he had this influence over her, over the family, and they wound up getting married. And so, yeah, and that was just absolutely insane. And I just remember the shock of seeing that. But unfortunately, that's not something that was brand new. I mean, things in terms of something like that happening. I don't know if the age difference was, a new thing, because, again, he was 63 and she was 18. But, a 45-year difference versus a 19-year difference with Marques Houston. Anyway, I'm going to play this clip of him defending that and continue with my commentary.
I wish some of y'all would mess with my wife, Jordan. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. Well, you will see me on the news. Let me just tell you that right now.
He's serious.
Talking about what you gonna do if you see her.
In his voice.
You better walk by and say, praise the Lord. That's what you better do.
Here we go.
Because that's my wife.
Okay.
And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her. Now, if this was out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up. So don't you forget the Bible say marriage is honorable. And the Bible said when you find a wife, you find favor with God, honey. I found some favor with God.
All right, I'm going to pause that because I can't stomach much more of him speaking. But you get the gist of what he was saying. He says, I didn't do anything wrong because nobody had to sign any paperwork. She grown. Like he said it. She grown. Not she's an adult. She is of age. She is a grown woman. No, she grown. Like he said it. But no, 18 years old, okay, you had the right to marry her without her having to get parental consent and any papers being signed, but you waited until you didn't need that. So it doesn't make it okay. And you groomed her because she definitely was underage before you were able to marry her. Because let's just be clear. With him trying to use the Bible to defend his actions, a lot of people, that's what they will do. They either will use the Bible to defend their actions or they will use the laws to defend their actions. So, okay, someone like Marques Houston, you didn't marry someone who was underage, and you may not have even been with her before she was of the age of consent, depending on the state that you were in, but you cannot take away the fact that you were 19 years older than she is. And the same goes with Bishop Dwight Reed. You were 63 years old and you married an 18-year-old. So, okay, you may not have had to have someone sign paperwork for you to marry her, but that doesn't take away the fact that you were 45 years older than this little girl. And that's what I'm going to call her. I'm going to call her a little girl because, listen, I don't care how much people go through in life. I get it. Unfortunately, some people have had really rough starts or just rough goings on throughout their lifetimes, and it has made them have to feel like they had to fend for themselves, take care of themselves. They didn't have parents to facilitate their needs or their desires, and they had to just go out there and get it and do what they had to do. That is unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that you are mature. It doesn't mean that you make all of the best clear decisions, because with age, sometimes comes a little more wisdom, but it takes learning. It takes education in order to get the knowledge and the understanding, but it doesn't mean that you are always going to make the right decisions for yourself once you hit a certain age. So that's where I wanted to take my commentary to the fact that, okay, you may have gotten with these people and did what you did, and it was not illegal, but it doesn't mean that it's not immoral. And when you are in these public arenas like this bishop, public platform, and he decided to speak to the people from the pulpit of his church to say, yeah, you better not try to harm me or I got something for you. And then Marques Houston coming onto social media to laugh it off, to say, no, we were not together 10 years before we got married. Okay, maybe you weren't. I don't know. That's his word. But what you can't take away is the fact that you're 19 years older than her, and it just does not look good. The optics don't look good. It's not for me or anyone else to, try to tear it down, but we can definitely have our opinions about it. And although there may be a lot of people, like those people who was in this bishop's congregation, amening everything that the bishop was saying, or the people in Marques Houston's comment section on that Instagram video saying, we love you, we support you, you look amazing, all this other stuff, there are also going to be people who just are not here for it. And listen, none of these people are in my lives. It doesn't affect me either way, but I just wanted to have the discussion about it to say that the optics just don't look good, and it does make one wonder why, with all of the women in this world, would you feel the need to get with someone that was so much younger than you? And what I feel, in my, beautifully honest opinion, is that they want to have that upper hand, that authority, that control, and someone like Marques Houston and the bishop of that church may not be in the same tax brackets, but for those young girls, and that's what I'm going to say, for those young girls that they got with and married, they were in a higher position of security for them to make them feel that this is the best decision for me and for my life moving forward. But guys, I just wanted to have the discussion about it. I would love to know what you think about it, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section respectfully. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have not already done so. And this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.